Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the EKN Radio Network. My name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole, and it's another edition of This Week in Karting. Actually, episode number 8, Tuesday, rather, what day is today, David? Wednesday, March the 20th. Man, this month, again, flying by. This Week in Karting, a new podcast that we started late last year. Essentially, it's our news podcast, grabbing everything that hit the news on the homepage of eKarting and kind of packing it all into a podcast that you guys can use on your morning commute or heading home after work, whatever it may be. Again, great for driving down the road, kind of bring you up to speed on everything that's going on in karting here right now in North America. David Cole, of course, the news desk manager, getting everything together. We're going to talk Rotax, which we haven't done in a long time. We're going to talk Superkarts USA and California ProKart Challenges, three series getting ready to go. We're going to talk a little indoor karting, going to talk a little four-cycle. Of course, we'll go over some of the stuff that's coming on the website, coming on the EKN Radio Network, and events that David and I are going to be at over the next couple of weeks. This edition of This Week in Karting, episode number 8, presented by J3 Competition. Rotax is officially back in America, and J3 Competition is the iconic brand's new importer and distributor for the northern half of the United States. Rotax is a leader in two-cycle technology, and J3 Competition brings over 75 years' experience to the brand here in the U.S. They're focused on club and regional support and a pair of big events offering tickets to the grand final in Italy. Check out the new Rotax USA program on racerotax.com. So, David, as we get started here for This Week in Karting, it wasn't too many years ago that you and I did a lot of Rotax stuff. It was such a powerhouse program in the U.S., kind of coming in, I believe, really in the late 90s, kind of got some footing and started to grow some roots in the 2000s, a lot of it down in Florida. But, dude, you and I, we've been to a bunch of Rotax Grand Nationals over the years. Of course, Andy Saisman's Challenge of the Americas was all Rotax for a while. We made a couple of trips to Portugal, too, for Rotax Grand Finals. But with both J3 Competition and RTX Karting, the RTX group down in the south, this program's back, and they're getting ready to start laying out the foundation, essentially.
Yeah, and the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals is still one of the premier events you want to go to around the world. Yeah. And obviously with the way that the industry has changed with the Rotax program here in the United States, it's kind of lost a bit of momentum, but these two entities are looking to bring that back. And again, it's focused on the grassroots and regional racing levels that they want to focus their customer base at.
Well, this is This Week in Karting. It's not really a focus on the history of Rotax. We can get into that later, but just to simply put, to kind of set the stage, obviously the Rotax was going through an evolution program where they were working on issues with their engines. They were doing some stuff to try to get more consistency in the engines themselves. They've been able to do that. It was 3 or 4 years ago when essentially everything went down with Rotax here. So they've been able to completely stabilize the program. They picked up 2 really good importers. And David, like you said, we've had multiple conversations with Justin Stefani already from J3 Competition, and they're really looking at focusing on working with the clubs, working with tag programs where the Rotax can run within the tag, and then doing some regional stuff as well, which I think is great. But first and foremost, David, the news that hit the airwaves and of course hit the home page of eKarting News was Rotax Max Challenge, the Grand Finals chassis partners for 2019 being announced.
Yeah, the 2019 program is looking very similar to that of 2018 when they were in Brazil. 2019, the event's going to Italy, racing in Sarno, returning back there again for another event. I believe this is the second time it's been in Sarno. So you look at the chassis programs, really the change and the one that stands out really is in the Mini-Max category with Cup Karts coming on board as the new chassis partner for that category. Last year it was Burrell Art, which was the Mini-Max chassis. Burrell Art and Cup Kart are obviously similar, very together, obviously with the factories and workmanship between those two brands. Burrell Art stays with DD2. Sodikart remains with Senior Max and DD2 Masters. while Praga provides the chassis for Micro Max and Junior Max.
Yeah, there are some players that have stepped up to really want to be part of this Grand Finals program for many years. The Comp Kart thing with J3, I just think it's so crazy because I look back at when I first started in the sport in '95, and I want to say '96 or '97 was when I first met the Giacomellis. They came up to Canada to run the Barrie Grand Prix with Sam Hornish. They actually brought Sam Hornish up at that time, was a street race in Ontario. It was J&J then, Jim and John. Well, they add Justin to make it J3 competition. They, of course, over the years become this super strong, juggernaut kind of race team, well known for professionalism, organization, everything they've done. But then, David, they roll out their own chassis. The Comp Kart is, J3 competitions, it's their brand. And what a success story. I think that's definitely going to have to be a story that we do on eKarting News later in this year, maybe even a two-part story, because, to have essentially what is a brand that is based in the U.S. Yeah, it's made in Italy by Burrell, but it's their design, their program. They run the marketing for it. They run the design work for it. I just think that's huge news. I think a lot of people were pleasantly happy and surprised to see them on the dance card.
And it's only been a 5-year story, really, because it debuted at I believe it was 2014 Super Nationals. The last year we're at the Rio before we moved over to the Westgate, and it made its debut there, and we've seen it win a number of different programs, and as you said, it's global, it's worldwide, it's in Australia, It's in Asia, it's in Europe, it's all over the place. So it's grown, it's grown leaps and bounds to I'm sure what even J3 thought it would do in the first 5 years.
I would agree with you. I think they'd probably be pleasantly surprised. Let's so obviously this first segment before we head to our first commercial break on This Week in Karting, it's essentially all Rotax. Dave, let's jump in and talk a little bit about the first race actually that's going to be happening here in 2019 for Rotax racers, those who may want to try to win a ticket to go to Sarno, to go to the Rotax Grand Finals. RTX Karting hosting the All-Stars Finals 2019 at the beautiful Speed Sports Racing Park down in New Caney, Texas, just north of Houston, Alan Rudolph's place. April 12th, 13th, 14th at Speed Sports, the All-Stars Finals 2019 with RTX Karting. And David, it seems like the Rotax guys are focused on doing the lottery engine raffle. I think people, even though Rotax has done such a good job now, getting that consistency into the engines, the engine raffle, I think, makes a lot of people happy in terms of knowing that they're going to go in and it's going to be a level playing field. Very similar to the Rotax Grand Finals. You get the engine provided to you.
The Rotax, yeah, as you said, the Rotax Grand Finals, that's what it has been. You get the kart, you get the engine. You don't bring anything other than your helmet, your gear, maybe some tools, and a stopwatch, and that's about it. So it kind of eliminates, the perception of guys with, these special motors that we saw in the past decade or two with the Rotax program. And as you said, the Rotax engine itself has gotten away from that. And really, the engines are very, very similar to each other, to one another. But it just helps that everybody goes in grabbing an engine when they enter at the racetrack, and they bolt it on, and boom, they're ready to go. So there's no questions like that. So it's good. It's good to see that. And again, as you said, this is the first chance for anybody here in the United States, if not around the world, to come and race in Texas to win one of those 4 tickets that they're providing to event winners.
So let's go. Let's kind of give you some information. Again, it's the All-Stars Finals 2019 down at Speed Sports. The date, April 12th, 13th, and 14th. Registration now open. I believe you go to rtxkarting.com. In addition to the 4 tickets straight to the Rotax Grand Finals, they're also offering 6 paid entries to the Rotax International Trophy in Le Mans, France. And at that event, you'll be able to win tickets as well. So giving people some different opportunities. As I said, the engine lottery raffle program, they're going to have limited mojo practice and rain tires there. So make sure you get registered so they got tires. And David, micro, mini, junior, senior, masters, and DD2. Essentially the straight lineup of the Rotax category.
It is. Masters really being the one thing that the United States really has implemented since Rotax really began. You don't see that internationally except for DD2 Masters. Yeah. So this provides, DD2 is not, as we've seen, not very popular here in the United States. So Masters, a single engine, it allows anybody really that runs any type of single engine karts to to come and race that category above the 32 age limit.
It is interesting, isn't it, that other parts of the world have not kind of picked that up, because we've had so many drivers and fantastic drivers who have become, master stars within the Rotax program. I find it interesting.
Yeah, Rotax Masters hasn't picked up. I think other engine platforms have dipped into the Masters realm. As we see with IAME and Rock, even they've picked that up. But yeah, Rotax, they used to have it obviously as a class within a class at the grand finals in what they used to call the international category, which was essentially the senior category. So they would always recognize some of the top three old guys that were in the category. But
guys,
they aside from DD2 Masters, they haven't separated it. But who knows what happens as things move on? Maybe it reverts to the single speed, but the DD2 Masters category at the international at the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals is one of the most amazing categories you could watch.
Yeah. So again, to give you the lineup, that's in the southern states for Rotax with the new importer and distributor program. RTX Karting handling the southern states. J3 Competition and RaceRotax.com essentially getting things dialed in. They're handling the northern states. And again, J3 Competition, more news coming out that they have confirmed the prizes for their Stars and Stripes program. They're essentially having two races, the Stars and Stripes Trophy. That'll be May 17, 18, 19th. That's in Utah at the Utah Motorsports campus. And then later on in the year, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the Pittsburgh International Race Complex, the Stars and Stripes Open. Now, David, they sent in the release, got everything, the information. What do we got in terms of prizes for the? Let's start with the Stars and Stripes Trophy event.
Well, the trophy event that's scheduled for May 17th or 19th, as you said, in Utah, which I was shocked. I was shocked kind of be in a centralized location. I thought it'd be more northwest, but Utah is a great place, and it's only 2 weeks after the spring nationals for SCUSA. So got a lot of competitors and teams could stay in the area and race that race. So for senior, junior, masters, and DD2, those are four categories that the winners will receive a ticket to the Rotax Grand Finals in Sarno, Italy. So they will be directly in. Again, not just USA drivers, but Canada and all international drivers are welcome to the event. For mini and micro, it's paid entry into the Stars and Stripes Open if you do win in Utah. And then second place for all categories is a paid entry to the 2019 Rotax International Trophy in Le Mans. And then third place is a $1,000 voucher toward any U.S. Northern Rotax Service Center. So good prizes for the top three in all the categories. And it's interesting to see how the mini and micro panned out, because as we'll get into the open category as to why that is.
Yeah, so David kind of segued into it. The Stars and Stripes Open, the event August 1, 2, 3, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at Pit Race in Wampum, Pennsylvania. David, formerly known as Beaver Run. So David, if you win there, you get a ticket to the 2019 Rotax Grand Finals. You can talk more about second, because you kind of rolled it out a little bit for micro and mini. It's a pretty cool little setup for what's going on. I like it.
Yeah, because with the micro and mini categories, they provide 2 slots per country, essentially. The United States has always sent 2 drivers, or they've always provided 2 tickets through the U.S. events. And so with the Stars and Stripes Open, J3 has designated that as the event that they're going to decide the 2 drivers who are going to go. So first and second at the Open in micro and mini get those tickets to the Rotax Grand Finals.
Keep going, because we're working off our notes here, man. So great prizes coming to everybody, isn't it not? Like, just keep going through the second and third, man. That's great stuff.
Yeah. Well, again, for senior, junior, masters, DD2, again, winners in those categories, tickets to the grand finals. So you'll be able to join your country that you represent at Sarno. Second place, complete Rotax engine kit for those 4 categories. And then third place once again, is the $1,000 voucher. So again, stout prizes for all the categories. You're talking 5 figures easy in the amount of prizes that they're giving out in just the 2 events.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Both RTX Karting and J3 Competition dialing things in to kind of reset the program for Rotax here in the United States. And again, registration open for the Stars and Stripes trophy as well at racerotax.com. So getting things underway, first segment of this particular episode of This Week in Karting, all Rotax, as we talked a little bit about the chassis they're going to be running at the Grand Finals, and then went over the events that are coming up here to start the 2019 season. The All-Stars Finals, 2019 at Speed Sports Racing Park. That's April 12th, 13th, and 14th in Houston. And the Stars and Stripes Trophy, May 17, 18, 19 in Utah. And the Stars and Stripes Open, August 1st, 2nd, 3rd at the Pittsburgh International Race Complex. When we get back after this break, we'll switch gears and we'll start looking at some Superkarts USA action because Winter Series is done. Pro Tour started already with the Winter Nationals. Well, it's time for SCUSA to kickstart their regional programs, the Pro Kart Challenges. Stay with us. More to come after this break.
Hello, karting fans. This is Chris Wheeler from Belt Racing USA, and you are locked into the EKN Radio Network.
You've all heard the news. Rotax Racing is back in the U.S., and RTX Karting is your link to this global program in the southern states. The first order of business for RTX is their All-Stars Finals 2019, a new event that they're holding at the beautiful Speed Sports Racing Park in Houston on April 12th, 13th, and 14th. The All-Stars Finals 2019 will feature the Rotax Engine Raffle Program, which provides the most level playing field in all of karting. This is your first opportunity in 2019 to earn a ticket to the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals in Italy with 4 tickets up for grabs. They're also awarding 6 entry tickets to the Rotax International Trophy event in Le Mans, France, for drivers to earn an additional opportunity to participate in Italy. Registration for the All-Stars Finals 2019 at Speed Sports is now open. Head to rtxkarting.com to lock in your entry and to take your shot at joining Team USA at this year's Rotax Grand Finals. The shift is on to a new brand and a new way of thinking. Mad Old Nut Racing and Croc Promotion USA are focused on changing the paradigm when it comes to race teams in this sport. And the goal is to support dedicated young racers by giving them the tools and opportunities to succeed. Originally born as Mad Croc, the new branding is Croc Promotion, and Armando Fellini's product continues its dedication to quality and innovation. Croc Promotion USA is the American importer and distributor, and Mad Old Nut Racing is the official race team. We're ready to attack in 2019, and our race results speak for themselves. AJ Myers swept the first 4 Winter Series shifter kart races of the year, and Andrew Bedozzo continues to assert himself as an emerging player. Croc Promotion has momentum. Dedicated and talented young drivers, supported and mentored by team owners who know business and who are passionate about karting. That's Croc Promotion USA. That's Mad Old Nut Racing. Search for us on social media and give us a follow.
You probably know Nitro Kart for making a class-leading cadet chassis, the kart that swept the 2018 SCUSA Supernats cadet divisions and has won scores of races and championships all over the country. But did you know that Nitro Kart offers a full range of karts, including a kid kart and a brand new full-size chassis? Now racers of all ages can enjoy the Nitro Kart advantage of premium components, superior performance, and a wide range of tunable handling. All 2019 Nitro Karts are in stock now, so call Nick Tucker at 704-818-7868 and order yours today.
Hi, I'm Ashley Harrow, a multi-time international champion, but most kids know me as Coach. Under the tent, we aren't just friends. Everyone grows to become family. It all breaks down to 2 simple choices. You can either spend your time winning with us, or spend your time trying to beat us.
Nitro Kart! Race one or chase one!
Hello karting fans, this is Gabby Chavez, and you're locked into the EKN Radio Network.
Welcome back to episode number 8 of This Week in Karting. It is Wednesday, March the 20th, 2019. Working our way into spring now. It's David, he's getting warmer there. I just walked to the bank and it wasn't too bad.
It's starting to get there.
It has been a cold winter and a lot of snow for David, right? A ton of snow.
Well, thankfully we only have a couple of piles that are left to melt. So no more snow.
Yeah, you know what? For the people down in Florida, Texas, California, they don't get this. This is the part of the season change I hate. I love having the 4 seasons, right? Winter, spring, summer, fall. But it's that right between winter and spring when it's just dirty and it's just gross, right?
It's gross here, yeah.
It's everything's so dirty. It's just you want things to get cleaned up, the streets get cleaned. Yeah, it's just bad. But racing just around the corner, which always brightens things up. All right, folks, this particular segment, we're going to talk California ProKart Challenge, Great Lakes ProKart Challenge, and Texas ProKart Challenge. David, let's get things underway with the California ProKart Challenge. They're celebrating their 15th season, which I think is pretty cool. The ProKart Challenge actually got started as a standalone program. It wasn't a SCUSA series at that point. It was just Tom Kutcher. He had extreme karting out there, and he had a bunch of guys that were racing shifter karts. There wasn't really a place to slot them in. A lot of the guys, it was actually funny thing, Dave, it was an all-adult program. There was no kids. There was no micro minis, no juniors. It was all adult shifter karts. And I think they used to pull like 150, 160 guys out, to a Friday night at Moran. And those were the early days of the ProKart Challenge back in 2005. Tom and Patty eventually buying Superkarts USA, folding it under that program. But, David, 15 years, pretty cool for the guys at the ProKart Challenge.
Things have changed, Rob. Things have changed. No more. I mean, we did try to have those super nats with adults only, but it only went so far. And now, as you see it, it's probably swayed to be probably over 50% kids now. But still, 15 years with the California ProKart Challenge, it's a phenomenal feat to reach. Hasn't drove Tom too crazy to be there 15 years doing it. And again, as you said, they had that Moran Raceway was one of the focal points of the program, which helped launch this program when it first started. But this year, the prize package reaching over $120,000 for just the 2019 season, phenomenal.
Yeah, they're really giving back. It's funny, we talked about the adults, how it was all adults. Everybody was like 16 and up, running shifters and having a good time. It was kind of, barbecue, beer, and shifter karts back then. And it's not that way so much anymore. Of course, as you said, a lot of kids, all the kid classes, just the evolution of any national program. That was a really tight regional program back then. But over $120,000 rather getting passed out. And David, as you go through this, people are going to feel that, and SCUSA had it in their release, this is all about listening to their customers and about trying to give back. Because all the prizes essentially are given back, entries, tires, registration discounts or credit. It's amazing what they've rolled out here to try to give back to those that come racing with them.
Well, you look at what motocross has done in the past with all these contingency programs. Well, it's a way to get people to keep racing. And that's exactly what these prize packages are doing in karting right now. Is it's keeping these people racing, bringing them back, keeping them coming back. And thankfully they're able to bring more other people with them. So, just to open up with the podium prizes for the season, you get a free entry, including race tires for first place, free entry credit for second place, and a $50 credit for motorsports reg credit, which again just signifies, hey, you finish on the podium. Here's some entry money for you to come back in the next race.
Yeah. I think I love that. I love that. Hey, you know what? You want to race? Next time you come here, it's on us. The entry fee, tires, everything. And I like the fact that they've always done the raffle thing, but I think they're really getting hard at doing the podium raffles again. That was one of the things I think that people loved about SCUSA. Everybody would come around for the podium because you had to be at the podium to win. And I know the Patty's try to hold back Tom because he'd be giving away Super Nats entries. He'd get out of control. But I know the plan is, I think, for each weekend, right? They're doing 10 sets of tires, of Avinco tires during the raffles, the podium raffles. 4 free California ProKart Challenge entry credits. So they're going to give more, including race tires. So these are raffles. You don't have to win. And I think that's part of it, right, David? It's giving back to guys. You don't just have to be on the podium. Even if you finish 17th, you get a chance to win this stuff, right? So, again, 4 free Pro Kart Challenge entries, including race tires. And I think this is going to be per weekend. 1 free Superkarts USA Pro Tour entry, including race tires. That's worth $1,000. They're going to raffle off one of those at all the races. I love what they're doing. I think, and again, aside from everybody getting a lot of prizes, it just provides the atmosphere at the podium as well, because you have to be at the podium. Otherwise, it's 1, 2, 3, pick another name. I like it. I just think it provides a great atmosphere. It
definitely helps bring a little bit of atmosphere at the podiums, because it's not a boring, nobody's clapping. It provides a little bit of excitement, with people actually there watching, and it's good for those who finish up on the podium to look out and actually see racers and friends and colleagues to be there, standing there and clapping and acknowledging their success. And to be able, and again, these raffles might help persuade people to either come to the next event, or as you said, with the free entry to the Pro Tour, entice you to go race a Pro Tour race if you hadn't already thought of it.
Agreed. And dialing things up for the class champions as well. This is, again, the prize package for the 15th season of the California Pro Kart Challenge. Class champions winning an entry credit, including race tires, for the Super Nationals. That's worth $1,100. So if you're a class champion with the California Pro Kart Challenge, your ticket's done for the Super.
And you get the guaranteed starting spot.
Oh yeah. That comes with it, right? Guaranteed Super Sunday starting spot. You don't have to worry about last chance qualifiers if you're a Superkarts USA regional champion.
So you almost get everything free except credit at the tables, right?
Yeah. Stay away from the tables, and you make money.
There you
anyways.
go.
Let's be real. On that. Runner-up, championship runner-ups, getting a 2020 Pro Kart Challenge entry credits, which is great. So essentially the season, I believe, is that the season or
2?
Oh, 2. Yeah, pardon me. 2 entry credits for next year in Pro Kart Challenge, and third place getting 1 credit in the Pro Kart Challenge for the following season. So again, they have inventory of stuff that they can provide to their drivers and their customers, and that's what they're doing, right? They're giving back and allowing guys to, if you do well, you're getting entries. You're getting to be able to come back at no charge. I think that's tremendous. And again, almost $120,000. That's pretty solid.
And they're getting a later start this year too, so we'll see how that relates for their opening event coming up here. I believe
end of the month, right?
Next weekend. So we'll see what happens. We've already had a Pro Tour race, so typically they have 1 Pro Kart Challenge event before they start the Pro Tour, sometimes 2. This year they're kind of going opposite way, so we'll see. We'll see how the season starts. Obviously, the prize package is going to bring a lot of people there.
Yeah, 5 races, I think, this year on the California Pro Kart Challenge. Of course, they launched the Winter Series last year, so I think you had to watch about taxing their staff going back and forth. So, a couple of races in Florida in January and February. March is the Pro Tour. Then, at the end of March, essentially the start of April, the end of March is California Pro Kart Challenge. Then they've got May, June, I think was it May, June, July, or May, June. May, June, July, early September, late September with Streets of Lancaster. So a good spread for allowing drivers, if they want. You can run the Winter Series, you can run the California Pro Kart Challenge, you can run the Pro Tour and the Super Nats, and you're at 11 races, right? I think it's or 10 races. I think that's great. I think it's a fantastic way to approach it. David, let's move on to the next one. Let's go from the birthplace of karting in California. Let's move to essentially the birthplace of Superkarts USA. Let's go Great Lakes. Joe Janowski, of course, the new coordinator for the Superkarts USA Great Lakes ProKart Challenge, essentially a return home for the Superkarts USA banner.
Yeah, it's returning home. Joe Janowski behind the program, the director of competition through Superkarts USA, a former president and owner of the organization as well too. So he's bringing the original regional back, launching it coming up in less than 3 weeks, starting at Newcastle Motorsports Park, April 13th and 14th. And they have already signed on presenting sponsor with Hardin Motorsports Group and TB Kart Indy. They're providing their support of the program, the 4 events that they're going to run this year. And also adding Christian Marsh of Focal Perspective Media as their marketing and communications director. So going at it full force in 2019 for the return of the program.
David, I think that those are two big things to mention, because number one, to get a team like Hardin Motorsports Group, they're great folks, TB Kart Indy, and to get them on board. I know that in talking to the guys at Trinity Karting Group, they're going to be there as well. They're going to get a lot of support. But then, David, you and I, as media people, we talk about this all the time. There are great racing series, and we almost beg them for race reports, right? There's only so much you and I can do. We're a two-man band here. And you get these great series, and they just, please send us a race report. We can't come, but give us the race report so that we can give you guys some exposure. Get on social media so we can help a little bit. I think adding Christian Marsh to the program is going to help out a lot in terms of extending the exposure and the brand for the series, because we're going to have race reports. We're going to have photos to be able to use. I like that move. It's going to make it easier for you and I on eKarting News to provide more exposure.
Plenty of photos, plenty of videos, and we'll see how well he writes too. So we like working with Christian, and we'll
beat on him.
We'll beat on him a little bit, but at least, yeah, like you said, there's a person there providing that service. And again, it's not only for our benefit, but it's for the growth of the program. In order for people to understand it, we have to spread the news, and they have to spread the news as well.
So registration now open, I believe, for the opening rounds at Newcastle, April 13th, 14th, 15th. I'm not exactly sure where you go right now. What is there a website number, Dave? I didn't write that.
There's a Great Lakes section at superkartsusa.com.
Okay. Boom.
Also, you can find them on Facebook and I believe Instagram as well too, if you want to follow them there.
Yeah, I think that's a great way. Obviously, Facebook's one of the fantastic ways to communicate. So make sure you follow Superkarts USA Great Lakes PKC on Facebook as well. And as David said, there is that page on the superkartsusa.com website. Capping it off, let's go to the third of the three regional programs, the Texas ProKart Challenge. I'm actually excited because I go to Austin this weekend for the IndyCar race, but I'm home for 2 days, straight to Denton. Mark and Gina French, we're actually going to hook up for a podcast later on today, so look for that on the EKN Radio Network as well. Texas ProKart Challenge firing things up. A Titan 3 weekend series this year. We're going to be running at Denton. And then in July, we're heading to Amarillo. And then I believe it's September, we're heading to Speed Sports Racing Park to cap things off. They put together about a $15,000 prize package for their season, David. They've got 4 Super Nationals tickets up for grabs. Their tickets are going to be more of a random draw. So there's going to be one ticket for the 4 different groups: Cadet, IAME, Shifter, and KA100. And like SCUSA did with their raffles, they're essentially going to take their champions there, put them all in a hat, pick one champion out. And not only will that driver get the guaranteed Super Sunday starting spot, they're going to get the ticket to go racing as well.
Yep, and then you add on the 12 sets of Invinco tires to all the champions who finish out the year. And then obviously new to the program is the Briggs and Stratton categories that they've added. Those champions in the senior and masters classes will receive Briggs and Stratton generators to take home and use either at the racetrack or at their house as well.
Yeah, it's going to be some fun down there in Texas. Looking forward to it. Again, Mark and Gina putting together a great program, and that all is going to kick off, again, at the end of the month as well. A lot of racing, David. You and I have been sitting here knocking out podcasts. You went west to the Challenge of the Americas. I went to the SCUSA Winter Series. We were both at the SCUSA Winter Nationals to start off the Pro Tour. But I think it's almost time to hold our breath because I think we're getting ready to go. It's racing season now, don't you think?
I think April will be able to catch our breath a little bit.
I got 3 weeks off. I don't know.
And then after that, once we get to Utah for the spring nationals, it's go time.
It's put the green flag out and put the red flag away. Yeah, it is weird. My schedule's odd. I have 3 weekends in a row coming up here. I go to the Challenge of the Americas after Texas. You're at Mooresville, and where else are you?
Ocala
for USPKS. That's right. So our hashtag dual weekend double. David and I, after this particular weekend, back-to-back double weekends, we're both somewhere different. Then we get a bit of a break. And then as David said, we head to Utah for the Superkarts USA Spring Nationals. And from there, everybody's fired up and ready to go. Snow should all be gone by then. We'll cross our fingers. And dude, we're out at that point. Are you ready for that? I don't know.
Well, this is our warm up. This is our spring training, going dual weekend back to back. It's our warm up. So we'll be able to debrief ourselves after those 2 weekends, and then going into spring nats, we should be ready to go for the rest of the season.
Yeah, a little 3-weekend, breather. Spring clean the house, get everything ready to go, tidy up, because after that point, I don't think the break happens until October. So we like it that way. That's good. All right, folks, that's segment number 2. When we get back after this quick break, David and I are going to talk a little bit about some indoor karting, the Tuesday Night Thunder that Chris Wheeler put together. We'll talk about the Cup Karts North America program as well. We're pretty excited on that. We're going to be working a lot more closely with Steve Vermeer and Greg Jaspers on that program. We're going to do some driving ourselves later on this season. But that's what is in the next component of this particular edition of This Week in Karting. Stay with us. More to come.
Hello, karting fans. This is IndyCar driver Zach Beach, and you're locked into the EKN Radio Network.
California karting is about to heat up once again because the Superkarts USA California ProKart Challenge is ready to kick off their 2019 season. The opening round of this year's PKC will take place on March 30 and 31 at Buttonwillow Raceway Park. The chase for the championships will get underway. Registration is open now. From there, the PKC will head to Cal Speed in June, Monterey in July, Santa Maria in early September, and then it will cap off at the Streets of Lancaster Grand Prix on September 28-29. All the SCUSA classes are on the dance card, including Micro and Mini Swift, KA100, X30, Stock Honda, and the new Pro Shifter 1, Pro Shifter 2, and G1 Gladiator categories for the new IAME SSE 175cc shifter engine. For more information, head to superkartsusa.com. We hope to see you at the track. Are you ready to go racing? Trinity Karting Group is fired up and ready to take up that challenge. Trinity Karting Group is a full-service operation based at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati, which gives them access to their custom-designed driver training facility. This allows them to offer private one-on-one coaching that can take you to the next level. They're also a Midwest dealer for Tony Kart and IAME, and they are your source for MG and Avinco tires in the region. They'll be trackside at the SCUSA Great Lakes ProKart Challenge, the US PKS, the USAC Battle of the Brickyard, and of course, the KRA Series at Newcastle Motorsports Park. From arrive and drive and coaching programs to parts you need, let Trinity Karting Group provide you with the customer service that is second to none. Trinity Karting Group has a long history in the sport, a winning pedigree, and they're dedicated to driver development. They take pride in their professional approach and their positive attitude. Let them build a custom race program for you. Give them a call at 513-421-4463 or check them out online at trinitykartinggroup.com.
The Kart Republic has arrived in the USA and it's taking the world by storm. Kartsport North America is North America's exclusive importer and distributor for Dino Chiesa's Kart Republic chassis. Kart Republic has been racking up numerous national and international titles across all classes in its inaugural year of competition, including this year's CIK FIA World Championship. The team has arrive and drive seats and support spots available for the SCUSA Winter Series, USPKS, and WK Manufacturers Cup competitions, so call us today to reserve your own winning Kart Republic. Located in Mooresville, North Carolina, on-site at GoPro Motorplex, Kartsport also offers driver training and coaching programs, kart service and storage, and full retail sales with the top brands in the sport available in their 6,000 square foot retail space as well as their online store. Kartsport North America, top quality products, winning brands, and professional driver development services. Give us a call today at 855-527-8776 or visit us online at kartsportna.com.
I'm Jake Craig, and you're listening to the EKN Radio Network.
Welcome back to the EKN Radio Network, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. If you're listening on your mobile device, you've downloaded the app, thank you. Go to iTunes and give us a ranking. We'd love a 5. Hopefully it's good. If it's not a 5, give us some feedback. Send us an email. Hook up with us on any of our social media platforms with feedback. We'd love to have it. Otherwise, if you can give us a rating on iTunes or Google Play, it helps out a lot. We appreciate it. if you're listening on the website at ekartingnews.com/radio, get that app. Download the app to your mobile device. You're good to go. EKN Radio 24/7, 365, anywhere you are. All right, David. I've been working late on Tuesday nights. I'm just trying to get caught up for what's happening these 3 weekends I've got in a row. So I've been burning the midnight hour a little bit. And while I've been working, I've been watching online on Facebook because Chris Wheeler and a couple of his good friends have started the Tuesday Night Thunder at Speedway Indoor Karting, Sarah Fisher's place in Speedway, Indiana. It's an 8-week series using their new little oval slick track. And the chassis, of course, are good friends at CRG. It's the CRG Centurions. It's Chris Wheeler from Bell Racing USA, Dave Dusick from Racetrack Engineering is working as well, and Kevin Swindell from Swindell Speed Lab, who does a lot of live broadcasting, part of the program. It's essentially old school, like almost Chili Bowl, right? They're doing short races. It's on the little tiny oval. It's a slick track. 6 drivers at a time, passing points. After the heat races, they go to the E-main, D main, CBA. First 2 guys transfer. I've watched it while I've been working, and it's been pretty fun because I talked to Wheeler earlier. We'll get to this in a second. But this is a brand new deal, right? They're learning every time they go to the track, and they just been getting better and better. Did you get a chance to watch any of it? I have.
I've logged on to Facebook each week just to kind of check out, see, when I was actually had time to get on the phone and see where were they at in the program. And so I haven't been able to watch like main event, but I've seen some of the heat races that they've done. And so that type, like you said, it's that Chili Bowl mentality where you set out a qualifying lap and then you got to race your way up through the heat races and try and, if you win a heat race, you automatically qualify for the main. And if you don't, then you got to try and race your way in somehow. And so that part keeps things kind of exciting. It's not a slick track. I mean, you can run the high line, you can run the low line, you can go high low, or you can go low high. It's kind of just all over the place, and just finding open space and trying to get away is not or to be able to get away from the field is very tough to do.
It's really cool because, so again, they're kind of learning, as we said, right? So I watched last night. Last week was week 3. They sold out with 42 entries, I believe. And I watched a bunch of it last night, which was really cool. I'd watched the week before, and the main event was solid. And it was, because you got to get the cart into the corner. You kind of got to get it rotated. And again, but they're doing what they can to try to make sure that the bottom line's too slippery with a bit of grip on the top, right? So it's a slick pavement. So you got to try to get that grip on the outside. And Wheeler had to go to work last night, which I thought was fantastic. And I was watching during that part. The bottom was just too good, right? And you weren't able to roll the top. So guys were just drilling each other, as happens in indoor karting. They were beating on each other, trying to push guys off the line to get that move to the inside. Well, Chris stopped everything. I don't know if we were into the mains yet, or it was just the heat races still. But essentially, he went out and they were painting something essentially on the track. I'm not sure what it was. I think it's kind of like a baby powder kind of thing. They were trying to get the bottom to be super slippery. Next heat race goes out, and the bottom's tough. Top is better. Well, once the bottom got real slippery, it was fun. It was so fun to watch, just like watching a straight dirt track where you can't be on the power on the bottom. That's not an issue here. It's not the power. You're not spinning the wheels really. It's just getting the thing to kind of hook up big time. There was guys on the outside. They were running the cushion. You just had to stay to the wall. But the guy on the inside would get the better run, be on the lead, come out of the corner. But the guy on the top would just like power him down the straightaway, beat him to the line. It was fun to watch. I think it's a cool program. They're getting a bunch of dirt guys to come out and play. I hope maybe they can drag a couple IndyCar guys in. I think that would be a lot of fun too. But they're getting some of the names from the dirt stuff. But people are just coming out and having fun. It's just I just thought, and it's all live on Facebook, and I think they're topping usually over 500 for the main event. It's the off season for these guys. A lot of these racers, and again, it's not just sprint car drivers. It's just regular guys that are coming out and registering. Now it's getting harder and harder as the program has gone along. Now we're into the 3rd week, and they're selling out at 42 entries, and it literally there was 5 spots for next week's spot event open by the time they had already confirmed entries for all these other drivers that were already in the program. So
it might, it might get even bigger than what they have with 42 as the season goes along. So we'll have to kind of gauge what happens with that, because I think they could make this even bigger than what it is.
Well, yeah. So, do you do it? Do you keep doing? Is it a 2-night thing where or is it a Chili Bowl 6-night in a row deal? You know what I mean?
That might be for the finale type deal. That might be a cool finale right? type.
300 people.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. But I think by then, all these guys are going to be in race mode, and you're going to be traveling around. Yeah. Because the snow will be finally melted. So maybe that's something they start a little bit earlier in the year. Say January. So that way they can get a few more months in. Obviously, the Chili Bowl, I believe, is in January. Yeah, so January. Right after that is probably when they'll have to start next year.
I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's cool. Chris Wheeler's got a lot of cool ideas. There was a time when he was trying to get the rally cart thing going, which I thought was fantastic, running carts on dirt, and I would love to have seen that go. But this is fun, and it's hometown. He's a Speedway Indiana boy. Working closely with the guys at Speedway Indoor Karting. I think it's a great program. If you haven't seen it yet, next Tuesday, dial in. I think it starts at 7:00 or 6:00 or something like that. But just make sure you follow Swindell Speed Lab on Facebook, and I believe it's what TNT at SIK. So Tuesday Night Thunder at Speedway Indoor Karting. So I think that's their Twitter handle as well. TNT at AT. SIK. Give them a follow, watch it. It's pretty cool. It's an interesting thing, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it potentially move to other racetracks as well. A Tuesday night, a Thursday night, whatever it may be. So I know we wanted to bring that up. It's a pretty cool deal. Chris Wheeler, of course, really good friends with us, and with Bell Racing USA. They're one of our partners here at eKarting News. So I just thought it was a really cool deal to get that thing rolling. I like it. David, let's talk Cup Karts North America. You and I are both excited. We're going to get hopefully a handful of races in personally this year. One of them is going to come with the guys at Cup Karts North America for their Grand Nationals at the first week of October in Newcastle. But again, all about giving back, right? All about, hey, if you commit to us, we're going to give back to you. Talk a little bit about what they're doing in terms of their new racer program, their full-time racer program. They're going to be giving out some tires, which I think is cool.
Well, it's not so much giving back. I think it's more of, hey, we're leaving no excuses now for you to come race with us. I think that's kind of what it is. Their new racer program is especially for the Spring Nationals is providing a brand new set of Vega VAH tires for $90. Again, just $90 for a set of tires. It's basically $100 off of the regular retail price. It's eligible if only you have competed in one CKNA event since 2017. So if you pre-register for the Spring Nationals event that they're going to have at Concept Haulers Motor Speedway here coming up May 3rd through the 5th, you will be able to take part in this new racer program to get your tires for only $90.
I like that. I think that's massive. And again, they're having so much success with this Cup Karts North America Grand Nationals, bringing everybody together. I think they have maybe almost 200 racers at Newcastle last September. I would expect 250, I think, for this year's Grand Nationals. What they did this last year, David, we got to bring it in a bit. They had two different divisions going last year. I believe it was a North and a South. I think it was
North and a Central. Yep.
North and a Central. They brought those two together. So there's 5 races this year. Right, Concept Haulers Motor Speedway, MRP, Dousman, 61 Cartway, and Circleville, G&J. David, they're also offering up a cool deal for drivers that commit to all the races as well, which I think is a great addition too.
Yeah, their registration opens coming up on March 31st, and for those full-time racers who commit to all 5 divisional races, will be awarded a brand new set of Vega VAH tires. So essentially you're kind of getting a discount for entering all 5 events, which equates to a free set of Vega tires. So again, another reason, tires are always a problem for people. Well, my racetrack has this and we don't do that, et cetera, et cetera. Cup Karts North America is putting that aside and say, hey, look, there's no possible way you can't deny these 2 deals.
Yeah, they got a really good partnership with TS Racing, and again, We'll talk more about it later on, but definitely one of the podcasts, one of the industry insiders you're going to see coming up here on the EKN Radio Network is another chat with Greg Jasperson. We talked with him last year after the Grand Nationals. It'll be good to sit down with him to see what they've got going, because they're really working hard to put together a lot of partners. They're excited about the new 5-race series. They're really excited, of course, about the Grand Nationals in October. This is a good program for the Midwest, David. I think you would agree. When you can start bringing people together, this is that, hey, you race at this club, but here's 5 races to come with us. Come and challenge yourself against the best drivers in our area. I know the guys from Coyote are going to be there. The guys from MGM are going to be there. There's going to be a lot of Margay guys out there. This is going to be a really awesome series, and I think they're going to build off momentum from last year's Grand Nationals to come out of the box strong at the Spring Nationals in May, as you said, the first weekend of May.
Well, it's good that they are going to racetracks that have a good following of club drivers, especially in the 206 category. So as you said, that helps. So it gets those local guys to come out and race, against some top regional drivers in the country.
Yeah, cupkarts.com, cupkarts.com. And of course, have a look for them on Facebook to get as much information as you can. Folks, we're going to get ready to wrap this up. One more break in this particular edition of This Week in Karting. We'll come back, and David and I will talk about what we got going on the site, what's coming in terms of events we're heading to, kind of an update, and give you a preview of what you're going to see both on the website and on the EKN Radio Network. Stay with us. Just a little bit more to come here on the EKN Radio Network.
Hello, karting fans. This is AJ Myers, and you're listening to the EKN Radio Network.
Hey racers, this is Rob Howden, and I'm super excited to be back with the Texas ProKart Challenge family this year. Gina and Mark French have put together a perfect 3-weekend series after listening to their racers. And we're heading to Denton at the end of March, then the incredible track at Amarillo in July, and we'll cap it off once again at the Jewel Houston Karting Speed Sports Racing Park in mid-September. Get these Texas PKC dates on your personal racing calendar, and I'll see you there. The Texas ProKart Challenge fires up this month on March 29, 30, 31 with round 1 at NTK Kartways in Denton. It's 2 full days of racing for Mini and Micro Swift, KA100 Junior and Senior, X30 Junior, Senior and Master, Stock Honda Senior and Master, and the exciting new Pro Shifter category featuring the IAME SSE 175cc engine. Come join the Frenches and I and the whole staff at the end of the month, and let's get this new Texas ProKart Challenge Series underway.
For over a century, Briggs & Stratton has had a commitment and passion for racing. It's a DNA found in every engine we build today. So whether you kart race, Baja, race quarter midgets, or believe that dirt and snow are just God's way of adding to the challenge, the dedicated spirit of every Briggs & Stratton employee stands at the fence waiting for the green flag to drop. Briggs & Stratton Racing. What powers you?
Attention karters of the Midwest. Superkarts USA is back. SCUSA is returning to its roots with the launch of the new Great Lakes ProKart Challenge. It's 4 events at 3 great venues: Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin. Newcastle Motorsports Park, Concept Haulers Motor Speedway, and Road America. This is your chance to run all the SCUSA categories at X30, KA100, Mini, and Micro Swift. And of course, it's SCUSA where SCUSA was born, so the shifter karts will be front and center. The Great Lakes ProKart Challenge will be your place to race stock Honda and the awesome new IAME SSE 175cc shifter. Finally, Midwest racers can compete in a SCUSA Regional Series, and if it's your goal, prepare for the National Pro Tour. Follow Superkarts USA's newest regional program on Facebook at SCUSA Great Lakes PKC and on Instagram at SCUSA Great Lakes.
This is Jake French, and you are listening to the EKN Radio Network.
Welcome back to This Week in Karting. Touching on a lot of different stuff. 4-cycle, 206 with Cup Karts North America. Touched on some indoor karting. Talked about the Superkarts USA Regional Series. And, of course, talked about a lot about the new Rotax importers and distributors, the events they're putting on. A lot of good stuff coming in the first or next 2 or 3 months here in North America. David, let's wrap things up by kind of giving an overview of what's going on editorially, what we got with podcasts. Obviously, when we do our podcast, the first time to hear any of the content is streaming on the EKN radio network. We do that for 4 to 5 days to a week. First opportunity to listen is on the streaming network, and then we turn it into a podcast, which then becomes available on iTunes, Google Play, you name it. Let's start editorially, David. What do you got? What are you working on? I know I got a bunch of stuff coming my way, but what do you got working on?
Right now, I'm focused on finishing up the 2018 Briggs & Stratton Stratton Weekly Racing Series profiles. We've gotten through, I believe, almost the top 5 or 10th through 5th. And so we got 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st to go through over the next month or so. So hopefully we'll wrap that up by the end of April. It's been a lot of work. Thankfully, a lot of the racers have been able to get back to us. Obviously, the double weekend for me kind of put things off a little bit for that, but we're jumping back on that. And so we'll be hopefully wrapping that up by the time the snow melts everywhere else. And and I know we got a lot of columns and profiles coming up as well.
Yeah. I'm working on a bunch of kind of industry profiles. A lot of great stuff happening right now. I'm working on one for Croc Promotion and Mad Old Nut Racing. They've, of course, taken the national scene by storm with AJ Myers and Andrew Bedozzo. I got a piece that I'm working on to kind of detail what's going on with J3 competition and the Rotax program. I'm going to talk, offer a lot of information on what's going on in terms of updates for the Quincy Grand Prix. Terry Trader's doing some great stuff for the Quincy Grand Prix, amazing return last year. We'll get some information for you there. I got a profile as well I'm working on for Trinity Karting Group. We're going to have a couple of overviews for our helmet partners. We know that a lot of racers out there potentially looking to get new helmets for 2019. We're going to do some kind of product overviews, the product lineup from both Bell Racing USA and Stilo USA. Look for those on eKarting News. And I got a new one I'm working on right now. I'm just kind of working on it, David, because I think it's going to be cool. It's going to be called Made in the USA or Born in the USA. We'll see how I decide to play with it. Essentially, we're going to look at some of the all of the domestic karting manufacturers we have in the sport. You go to any racetrack, a lot of the stuff you see is coming from Italy, but there is some great material, great karts here in the USA. So we're going to kick things off with a bit of a profile, some history, and maybe a more current look at the guys at Margay. We're going to talk about Coyote, MGM, Invader. There's a lot of cool stuff being built right now, and I want to make sure that we give some highlights to the domestic manufacturers. So look for that coming down the pipe as well. What about, David, what do we got going on the EKN Radio Network? I know you're setting things up. Not only are you the news desk manager, you've become a kind of a radio station manager as well.
Well, the radio, we're playing a bunch of different things that we were been to. So we've got the live from Winter Nationals playing. We've got the live from COTA playing. Our recent debriefs that we've done as well. This obviously being one of the next new items to hit the radio. Podcast wise, we haven't really done a lot of podcasts over the last month. We had the last This Week in Karting, which was on February 25th. So it's been a little bit since we've done that.
Yeah.
But we got that. But coming up new this week, we have the SCUSA Pro Tour Winter Nationals debrief, along with Challenging the Americas Tucson debrief, available in podcast form. So those will be on your phones by the end of the week. And obviously more coming up after that, as we got a lot of debriefs coming up in the near future, as well as a lot of other different podcasts coming.
Yeah, Dave, no doubt about it. With our dual weekend double-double, we're essentially going to have four debrief podcasts within about 10 days. We're going to have to come home from our first race, bang out a couple of debriefs to get people up to speed on what happened on the weekend, head off Thursday to our next races, come back and do 2 more debriefs. So there's going to be a lot of great content coming out. In addition to those debriefs, I'm planning, as I said before, I'll write a podcast today or tomorrow with Gina and Mark Frank from the Texas ProKart Challenge. I'll sit down with Greg Jasperson from Cup Karts North America. Terry Trader and I will talk about the Quincy Grand Prix as well, and hopefully getting a chance to talk to Mike Burrell from USAC Karting about the Battle of the Brickyard. Dave, just a ton of stuff coming up for us for sure.
Lots of stuff. And as you said, we'll kind of segue into the live events that we are going into. Coming up next weekend is the first round of our dual weekend double, hashtag that.
Right.
I will be going over to Mooresville, North Carolina, the GoPro Motorplex for the second stop of the 2019 WK Manufacturers Cup Series. Excited to be back there, and still I'm planning on rain, but hoping it doesn't.
I'm hoping it doesn't for you either. I roll in Friday morning, I think I'm just Friday before noon into Dallas for the opening round of the Texas ProKart Challenge, same weekend, March 29, 30, 31. Doubleheader weekend at North Texas Karters, the iconic Denton track. Really looking forward to getting down there as well. The Texas ProKart Challenge crew is just good people. I always have a good time, and 3 events here in 2019.
Yep, and then the following weekend, I will be coming home and then heading back down to Florida to visit the Ocala Grand Prix circuit once again as the United States ProKart Series kicks off their 2019 season. Already looking at possibly, triple-digit entries already in the 7 IME categories that they're having there. In that weekend.
Good to hear. It's such a great program. I hope they launch strong. That's the USPKS, again, trimming down to 3 races here for 2019 as well, just like the guys at Texas did. Same weekend, as we said, folks, it's a dual weekend double-double. David and I are both at different tracks, back-to-back weekends. David started things off at the Challenge of the Americas. I will actually be wrapping things up at the season finale, April 5th, 6th, and 7th at Sim Raceway Performance Karting Center in Sonoma. And as I rub my hands here, David, potentially I could be putting the helmet on for that weekend.
It's okay. I'm sure somebody will be a 10th faster than you.
Doing a little racing, hopefully, at the Challenge of the Americas finale. I actually won't be on the mic. Tim Chapman will be on the mic. I'll be being David Cole, which means I won't do much, and I'll look busy. So,
well, yeah, that kind of describes you behind the microphone.
What are you talking about? I never stop. You know that. Tell me to stop.
But when you lay on the ground and do nothing, that talking. Yeah, okay.
That was a few years ago, David. Yeah. That was one hungover afternoon. That's all that was. And that was AJ Allmendinger's fault, I think, anyways, wasn't it? Or was it John? It might have been John Schaffner's fault, actually.
It's a lot of people's fault, other than yourself, right?
Oh, it was definitely me. It was. I'll take ownership, but I was steered in the right direction. That's fine. And you know what? The crazy thing is, David, we're going to cover 4 races, and I'm not going to see you until we get to Utah for race number 5. It's going to be this particular schedule. This is your 15th year with me. We've never had a schedule like this where we've had to do, and we've had some conflicts, but never back to back 4 different weekends or 4 different races.
No, we had that Stars of Karting back to back. What was it? Jacksonville over to Kart BC, wasn't it?
Well,
and you bailed out on Kart BC. I didn't go to Jacksonville, so Blaney actually I think went to both events. But Kart BC was kind of a home track because we actually drove up from his place.
True. So. I know that we did. We had the one conflict, which was SCUSA at Beaver Run, and I think it was Stars of Karting at Windsor.
Yeah, that was before me.
I remember you came to that race. I think. Remember you? I think one of the first times ever. First time I met
I wasn't
you
working. Yeah.
Was that race at Windsor? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we've had some conflicts, like Rotax Grand Nationals were at Road America in 2006, and we were at Woodbine for Stars. Yeah, right. And then last year, I think we had one where you were in Texas, and I was, I believe I was in Mooresville.
I think so.
So it's almost the same weekend.
Well,
so type deal.
It's
nothing like this year.
It's back-to-back conflicts for sure this time. Folks, we're going to wrap things up. We're done here for this particular edition of This Week in Karting. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it again. Do us a favor. If you have not downloaded the app, make that happen. Get the app downloaded to your mobile device. You are able to get all of our content at any time. Subscribe on iTunes and Google Play. You're able to get the immediate downloads once David posts things up as a podcast. But David, otherwise, we're done. Anything else you want to say to cap it off here today?
This Week in Karting. I don't know. We're done. Let's edit and get this thing up.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Thank you so much, folks. Again, dual weekend double coming up at the end of March, start of April. We appreciate all your input, all your Facebook messages, everything. We love it. Input is always accepted. We love to get it. We want to make sure we're doing what you guys want us to do here on the EKN Radio Network. On behalf of David Cole, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.